one is a 1959 Cadillac ambulance turned into the Ecto. They did have the other model, which is the other thing Cadillac is known for, which is in a hearse. Plus, part of the VIP package is photo opportunity inside some of our cars.
Oh, okay.
And Ecto is the first one.
All right, guys. So, is this one of the movie cars, or is this
actually one of the promotional ones?
Okay.
So it's still from Universal Studios,
right?
But it's a promotional use one. It's like charity auctions, red carpet.
Gotcha. And it still has the original. Looks like the original. So, welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean.
Welcome to the first part of Cars and Salvage. We start with a Tucker. Actually, let me be more accurate. It's technically a Studebaker turned into a Tucker.
Right, and I came in here earlier because they couldn't get enough Tuckers and they didn't want to wreck any for the movie.
Yeah. So the actual stunt cars were Studebakers turned into a Tucker, but still had the two key features, at least for the film, for the Tucker. The swiveling headlight.
Right.
That was kind of my favorite invention. It was a headlight designed to swivel with your steering rack. This one kind of still does swivel, not as much.
Okay.
But that light was ingenious because when you turned, it gave you a light shining where you're going instead of just the two stuck in front.
Gotcha.
But then it also was designed to have a replicated version of the flat 8 helicopter engines.
Right.
Because I don't think they put an actual helicopter engine in this one. And there was a problem with that engine, actually. It wasn't so much that it was a bad engine, it was more so the fact that Ford, Dodge, and Chevy saw that as a threat.
Right.
So the first time in history, they got together along with the US government and did whatever they could to have the company go bankrupt. And they succeeded.
Yep.
So the company ceased to exist, but the actual Tuckers still do. And if you find one, they're about $13 million.
Yeah, they're
I think
crazy.
they're more now, but the Grinch. I love this little car. It's one of the Whoville vehicles that you actually see driving around Whoville. But don't let it fool you. It's a fiberglass shell mounted to an electric golf cart.
There you go.
Then
Very
we have the Black Beauty. Now, this is the vehicle from the Green Hornet, but from the original TV show with Bruce Lee, not set for this movie.
So this is an original TV car.
Yes.
Okay.
There's two reasons why I can prove that. One, the fact that this is a 65 Chrysler Imperial. The movie didn't actually have a 65 Chrysler Imperial because only the top part of it looked like it. The undercarriage was actually Lincoln Continental.
Okay.
Proof number two, if you look carefully on the side of the fender, underneath the emblem, it reads Barrett's Customs.
Yep.
That is for George Barrett. He only works on the car for the TV show. He didn't work on the car for the movie. But ironically, despite the weapons this vehicle is supposed to have front to back, she's the deadliest car in our collection.
Okay.
That is Christine.
Now, is this one of the original Christines?
It is, in fact, one of the original.
Oh, wow.
Now, some car enthusiasts will look at this one, especially the side view, and go, no, it's not, because they read the book. But
Right.
in the book, written by Stephen King, she is a 58 Plymouth Fury possessed by hell. But in John Carpenter's movie, she was 3 cars.
Right.
She was a 58 Plymouth Fury, she was a 59 Plymouth Fury, which is the one in front of you.
Okay.
And she was even a 58 Plymouth Belvedere, which is the one in the poster there.
Okay.
Don't know why.
So this was the movie finished Christine.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, the barn scene, where
Right.
she puts herself back together.
Yep.
Because it was still a crumbled up car
Right.
when they did that scene. Due to the fact it was a recording just played in reverse, they swapped her out for this 59 Plymouth Fury to continue driving.
Gotcha.
There is one upside though. Her light is green, so she's not going to kill anyone.
There you go. Until she gets upset.
Now, it's actually on this trip to Orlando, Florida. You did not expect to end up in Georgia.
No.
Gibson has it. What I love about this room is my comment about Georgia is the fact that for the original TV show, Hazard County was a made-up county for the state of Georgia.
Right.
Not to be confused with the actual city of Hazard, Kentucky. We have Roscoe P. Coltrane's cop car, Daisy Duke's Golden Eagle, and General Lee. Now for Roscoe P. Coltrane's cop car, this, if you've seen the original show, you know the end credit scene very well. It's the exact same end credits in every single episode. Well, the cop car that did those chase scenes flawlessly was this one in particular.
So this is the actual police car. So guys, here's the deal. This is the real one. When we were in Nashville at the Dukes of Hazzard Museum, that was the replica. Just letting you know that they didn't have the real police car. This is the real police car.
Daisy Duke's Golden Eagle, however, is actually a reunion vehicle, dressed up and autographed by the main cast, except for 3 autographs. I did some research and come to find out the 3 that are missing are Luke Duke, Boss Hoss, and Uncle Jesse. For some reason, according to the sites, Luke Duke and Boss Hoss were at the reunion. But there's no specifications whether they did or did not sign the car. If they did, I can't find the part. If they didn't, I don't know why.
Gotcha.
Uncle Jesse's is the one that makes the most sense. Because the reunion was the same year he passed away.
Right.
But he passed away after the reunion. Before the reunion started, he actually fell ill, which prevented him from going.
Gotcha.
And then about a week and a half after the reunion, that illness killed him, unfortunately. Nonetheless, it is a very awesome truck.
All right, now, General Lee.
It is one of the originals, but it's not the one you think. Because most people know General Lee to be a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Some were,
some weren't. And those are the ones, the people who know that are the ones that actually know the history of what happened.
Right.
They destroyed so many 1969 Dodge Chargers that they physically had to go out and find more.
Right.
There was only 2 problems. One, this was before the internet. So you can't just Google search where these cars are. You had to physically go out and find them. Problem number 2 was as they were out searching, they couldn't find any more 69s. But they found plenty of 68s and 70s.
Right.
Bought up those, modified the headlights and the taillights to mimic the 69 Dodge Chargers. Therefore, ours is one of those 1968 Dodge
Which
Chargers.
is why the side lights are missing. And also, they were beat up so badly during shooting that a lot of them lost their body lines because of Bondo.
Yep.
But it does have the correct color inside, which is the beige.
You want to know something else?
And the tape is not there.
None of the doors were welded shut.
Oh, you know what? That's a new one. We didn't know that one, guys.
Reason why is because apparently, even though these were production vehicles, and a lot of production vehicles today don't actually have to obey the vehicle inspection codes, because most of them are going to get destroyed anyway, these ones still had to abide by these rules. So, should the car flip over and you'd be stuck on your roof, you need to be able to still get out.
Gotcha.
Fun fact though, 49 of the 50 states have vehicle inspection codes. Florida's the only one that does it.
That is true. Now, the one thing different with this one, and I pointed out, was John Schneider used to told a story that a lot of the cars didn't have white paint here. They had medical tape where the white lines were. And they would have the kids of the crew cutting the stars out because back then they didn't have decal shops. So they would just paint the red and the blue, and then they would use medical tape on some of the original, like the early ones. Then they got into painting it, but.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I still love this car though.
Oh yeah, one of the favorites.
You know that horn? That infamous
Yep.
horn everyone knows? Actually, I'm not going to play it because if you put it on the show, you might get copyrighted.
And there it is.
Able to pull it off. I love that setup.
Yep. Yeah. And this is basically the shape of a lot of the originals. Every Mopar museum we've been to and everything else has been, most of the original cars you'll see this way that have a lot of dents and dings. So, and by the way guys, that's not orange, that is red. And the reason they know that is they couldn't figure out what the orange, everybody thought it was Corvette orange, but there was the guy in Georgia whose shop built and painted a lot of these cars. About 10 years ago, they went and he had one of the original hoods with paint on both sides hanging up in his garage. They had been there since the show started. And so what they did was they took the hood, borrowed it from him, color matched the hood, and found out that it was just a mixed color. It was not one that was any kind of one from any of the manufacturers. But a lot of people think it's Corvette orange.
Yeah.
So.
And then this Mr. Machine actually belonged to a store called Ron John Surf Shop.
I know Ron John's. The original one's over here on the, in Daytona? Or not at Daytona, what's the beach over there?
Cocoa?
Below that, Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
But proof that's from Ron John is the surfboard attached to the ceiling.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're gonna go this way.
All right. Guys, when you come here, when you come to visit, this is why the extra money for the tour is worth it. Just letting you know. So when you guys are watching, remember you can buy a VIP tour pass, and I highly recommend it. It is well worth it for us car people. And you get a really knowledgeable guy that's walking around too. So, by the way, this is not normal that it's only one person. It just happened to be a Saturday and it's the first tour, because you may be with a couple other people, but I appreciate you doing this all just for one person. So my van here that looks like it was attacked by a Sharknado actually is not from those films. Okay. It's not from Jaws either. It's actually from a film called Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't remember that one.
Tom Holland's first Spider-Man film, where they brought in Michael Keaton to play the Vulture. Spider-Man left a birthday party, or I should say Peter Parker left a birthday party to come back dressed as Spider-Man. However, he saw an explosion go off in the distance and went to go investigate. When he did, he found henchmen selling illegal weapons out of this van, which ensued a chase scene when Ned accidentally called Spider-Man's cell phone. Now, throughout that chase scene, they blast the van 3 times. However, 2 of the blasts were actually designed to knock Spider-Man off the van. The third one was an accident when the driver made a sharp turn, causing the guy in the back to fall over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Behind it is Mr. Bean's Mini.
Oh, Mr. Bean.
You may better recognize this vehicle if it had the lounge chair and the ropes on top.
Okay.
However, inside is Mr. Bean's teddy bear. It's the only thing that came with the car.
Very cool. And it's right-hand drive, obviously.
That's it.
And I love the anti-theft.
Now, the motorcycles, simplest, they shouldn't exist. Reason why is The Lawnmower Man is a short story written by Stephen King. It's one of the films to which he actually walked out of the recording and said, remove my name from the title.
Wow.
But they released the film anyway, and it actually did bad in box office. But the producer and director got back together and made a sequel called Lawnmower Man 2, which is where the motorcycles actually come from.
Okay.
Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the first one. We have a Mercedes SUV and a German motorcycle, at least designed and mechanically sound to be period correct.
Right.
For the time Indiana Jones would have done his adventures in search of the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay, so the first one. All right.
Then we have one vehicle from Temple of the Crystal Skull. Now this is 100% accurate in every field possible, due to the fact that it is a retired 50s military truck used for Temple of the Crystal Skull. down in South America where they go.
Okay.
Then we have Kit. Knight Rider.
82, right?
Now, this kit is one of the concert tour built vehicles. After the series was over, David Hasselhoff went on a concert tour through Europe, where he took 4 Pontiac Trans Ams with him. This is one of those 4 Trans Ams. Painted, fitted, and dressed up to be and sound like a kit.
Nice. And this was the Germany tour, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
However, this one is actually screen used.
Oh, okay.
Which may confuse a lot of viewers, especially for the sole fact of we've got no roof.
Right.
However, one episode of season 4, Michael Knight hopped into Kit and found out he was a convertible. They hope to go on this grand adventure, the whole works, with the top down and everything. But my favorite part about that episode is the episode ended, the next episode aired, Kit went back to being a hardtop as if this never happened.
So it was just a whole, wow. And it's got a different, is that the same metal?
Now this is a different scanner.
Very, okay. Very cool.
He's constantly getting upgraded, so. Then we have the Johnny Cab from Total Recall. Best part is it's built off of a Volkswagen taxi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and yet it doesn't look like it.
No.
Then we have the Cadillac hearse from Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine. Now, the bullet holes on this one are actually kind of different because they were done very explosively. Little tiny blast charges were placed where you see the holes and set off one by one to mimic the vehicle being shot up by a machine gun. Which is the only explanation, because if you look closely, you'll notice some of the ones on the top kind of look like they're protruding out, not inwards. That's due to that explosion.
Okay.
So it was knocking them out instead of going in like it should be. It's just a cosmetic issue, that's about it. Now for anyone who's seen Mission Impossible 2, I highly recommend watching it again and noticing that every single motorcycle in the film was a Triumph.
Okay.
The reason why is Triumph was trying to promote their motorcycles to prove that they can compete with some other name brands, such as this Speed Triple designed to compete with the Harley Davidson, and this Daytona 955 designed to compete with a Ducati. But they are both screen-used stunt vehicles. This one was used to outrun a fireball.
Okay. So this is that one.
Yep.
All right.
Then we have Soul Train. Most people remember the Soul Train as this lovable cartoon train used in the TV show. However, Michael Jackson went on a concert tour and Paramount Pictures decided to build a real-life version of the train to bring Michael Jackson out on stage.
Oh, that is awesome. That is cool.
It's a beautiful machine.
And it looks like it uses a Cadillac.
Chrysler, actually.
Oh, it's a Chrysler? Okay.
Yeah. And we have the Ecto 1.
Wow, nice.
The Ecto 1 is a 1959 Cadillac ambulance turned into the Ecto. They did have the other model, which is the other thing Cadillac is known for, which is in a hearse. Plus, part of the VIP package is photo opportunity inside some of our cars.
Oh, okay.
And Ecto is the first one.
All right, guys. So now, is this one of the movie cars, or is this
actually one of the promotional ones?
Okay.
So it's still from Universal Studios,
right?
But it's a promotional use one. It's like charity auctions, red carpet.
Gotcha. Like and it still has the original. Looks like the original door cover.
Everything is
on the inside. So this is really. And my uncle had a Cadillac. He had the coupe version of this.
No, the DeVille coupe.
He had a black one. We used to call it the Batmobile. And he used to, so guys, this is how my uncle used to sit in the 70s. They didn't sit towards the window like now. Back in the day, they used to sit way over here and drive with all the kids in the back. We were all trying to stick our heads out the window. But this is very cool. Still has the AM radio, but it does have some of the signals and stuff like this and some of the switches. And it's got an amp on that. And then look back here. Now this had to be originally an ambulance, I would assume, at some point, because it would be too hard to make one. But very cool.
We have Slimer.
And Slimer's right here. So very neat. So again, this is a really good idea, guys. When you come to visit, we've been all over the country, 650 videos, and very rarely do you ever get to actually even touch a car, let alone sit in them. So this is a place to come for everybody who's a car guy to check this out, because the VIP is worth every cent. Oh, look at that. Should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.